This is the Chat City interviews from 103.2 Preston FM.
And here in the studio with me right now is Andrew Kirkham from Preston's Got Soul. Andrew, a very good morning.
Good morning to you.
Since, I knew you were coming on to Chat City this morning, I've had discussions here at Preston FM and with lots of friends, and in fact, a discussion last night in the pub, would you believe? Even though I'm at death's door with the cold and flu, somebody said a brandy is probably the best medicinal thing for you to take.
Absolutely.
So that's what I was doing. But the discussion that's been going on is about what exactly is soul. You know, Preston's got soul, and to me, Northern soul. I mean, my days at Wigan Casino, the all-nighters. What to you is soul music? You know, there was a big debate on this.
Well, soul music is a feeling, really. For me, it's a dance feeling. It's a sound. It's a 4/4 beat, stretching from Motown days and into the Northern soul sound that we hear today. It's just a reflection of life, really. It's from the heart, and it's a music that stirs the soul and gets your feet moving.
Yeah, and we were just saying whilst I was playing Martha Vandell, as you were saying, it was an absolutely brilliant night.
Fantastic night, yeah. Martha Reeves is a superb lady. Not the diva that you would expect. She was really down to earth, pint of Guinness in her hand in a dressing room, and she was absolutely fantastic. Salt of the earth, and the crowd loved her. 500 people singing along to Dancing in the Street was quite an experience for us all, really.
Yeah, you can just imagine that, can't you? After hearing the song then, you can just imagine all those people at 53 degrees, the atmosphere must have been like.
Absolutely. Everybody knows the words, don't they? You know, Heat Wave, Jimmy Mack, everybody knows the words. You get the first few bars from the band and everybody just starts singing. It's brilliant.
So what about, I mean, soul music for you then? When did you get involved in soul music? Has it always been with you? Who are some of your favourite artists then?
Well, I first got into soul aged about 16, 17. I bought Motown Chartbusters Volume 3 and thought this is the music for me. And it was just Motown at the time, and then obviously our interests expanded into more sort of obscure soul music, which has in turn turned into what we call now as Northern soul. But I bought all my singles from Spinner Disc on the Preston bus station. From Paul James there, who's still a good friend of mine, lives in America. Spent all our wages and pocket money on singles.
And where were the venues for you in those days then? Where did you go to get
Well,
your
I started at
fix?
the top rank in Preston. And then Blackburn Mecca. Eventually ended up at Blackpool Mecca. That was the place for me in the Highland Room there.
Yeah, because I mean, in a way, Blackpool Mecca took over after Wigan, because when Wigan disappeared, a lot of people thought that the Northern Soul Nights would disappear, and I think it was probably the Blackpool one that, in a way, refreshed it and brought it all back to the forefront.
Yeah, Blackpool had its time, definitely. It was the centre of Northern Soul for a period of time, as was Wigan. I think originally it started off with a Twisted Wheel, didn't it? And then
That's right.
a Golden Torch at Stoke-on-Trent.
Wow.
Then it went to Blackpool Mecca, then Wigan, and then probably Blackpool-Wigan vied with each other for prominence.
So over those years, what was a particular artist that, was your favourite? I'm sure there were many, like myself. But
yeah, many artists really. The Millionaires, the Contours, the Exciters.
Well, yeah.
Loads of them really. But the Motown sounds as well, really. You know, Martha Reeves, the Temptations, Four Tops, anything like that, really.
So moving to present day, I mean, what do we call soul now? I mean, Northern soul. I mean, what is it these days? The Northern soul that I remember is it different today? I
don't think it is. I think it's almost taken a step back to the original sounds of the 60s and early 70s. The age group at 53 degrees is probably between 40 and 60, I suspect. There are some younger people there, but that's the core of the age group, and they're into the older sounds, and that's what we play there.
And how did you get involved then with bringing Northern Soul to Preston now in its format that it's in?
Preston has always had a couple of good venues, smaller venues. Preston Grasshoppers Club has been going for about 16 years now, I think. Greenland's Club in Ribbleton, they hold about 150, 200, and we thought there was a place for an event maybe once every 2-3 months, which brought everybody together and housed up to 600 people, and it's turned out that that's been true.
And how often do you actually put on Northern Souls at 53?
This year, once every 2 months.
And that's going to continue, is it, in 2014?
All the way through 2014, right through to Christmas, yeah.
And are there anyone in the pipeline who you would really like to get along? I mean, we've just talked about Martha. Anyone else in 2014 you'd like to see appearing here?
We've already booked Judy Street in May. Judy Street was responsible for the fantastic track What? Which is 23 in the all-time top 500 Northern Soul tracks. But Judy's coming over from Nashville, especially for Preston. And she's stopping a few days. She's visiting Wigan, the site of Wigan Casino.
Is that right?
Yeah. I said to her, would you like to go to the Lake District and maybe a bit of culture? She said, the only culture I want is to go to Wigan. And
wow, lady of taste.
Absolutely. Have a pie in Wigan.
That's right, yeah. Pie and a pint and go and have a look where it all began. And I mean, so the audience that you get, I mean, presumably, if we got more younger people knowing maybe the soul music and that, I'm sure you'd have more, particularly given that you're situated within the university, more or less on the edge of the university complex.
Yeah. Well, we do get younger people going, and there's quite a core of 20-odd-year-olds do go there, and they can really dance. They've got really into not only the dancing and the music, but the fashion as well. You can blink your eyes and you think you're in the 70s. It's quite fantastic, really. So a lot of the clubs do have youngsters there, and I think that side of things, people are into retro stuff now, and kids are probably a bit fed up with the music that's being played today, perhaps. And there's no doubting the fact that Northern Soul and soul music in particular is fantastic, and if they get it, they're in it for life, really.
Any homegrown local soul artists that you know of that you think, wow, they're good? Anyone around?
I can't think of anything off the top of my head. We've had a band called the All Nighters at 53 Degrees last year. They're southern based, but a 9-piece band with a young singer who's aged probably 19, and she was absolutely fantastic. So, I mean, you know, if you're into the music and you're a good musician, then you can come across really well, and the crowd of 500 plus absolutely lapped it up. Wow.
And that's a decent size audience, isn't it, to get over there? 500 plus, quite decent size. When's the next one? When's the next one coming up?
The next one is a week today, which is the 17th of January at 53 Degrees. Starts at 8 o'clock till 2. We've got an evening of DJs, and it's headlined by the legendary DJ Ian Levine, who was the instigator of Blackpool Mecca. Also worked at Wigan Casino and the Golden Torch. Ian's a legend in Northern Soul circles.
I mean, it is it is a music that never dies, is it? I mean, just listening to Martha Reeves there, I mean, it just is as though it was released yesterday, that piece of music.
Yeah.
It's the kind of music, you sometimes listen to music from the 60s, 70s, and you think, wow, that now sounds old.
Yeah.
But when you listen to Motown, soul, jazz, it still has that, it's not gone past its sell-by date.
No, it doesn't date, I don't think. It sounds as fresh now as it did when it was originally produced. I mean, the production has got a lot to do with that, particularly the Motown sound, the Funk Brothers and, what have you. The musicians were fantastic, and the production of each of the tracks is second to none. And, that still comes across. It's a fresh, clean, crisp sound.
So, 2014 then, you're looking for, increasing the audience over there at, 53 degrees.
Hopefully so. Everybody's welcome. It's a really good, friendly atmosphere. There's never any trouble. There's good, well-stocked bars there, and it's an excellent atmosphere. Everybody would enjoy it.
And, of course, a knowledgeable DJ like that is a bonus, isn't it, having him along there?
Yeah, Ian Levine. I've been trying to talk him into coming to Preston for 2 years, and he's finally swallowed the bait, and he's coming up just for this one night only. And I suspect he won't come into our region again. He lives in London, and he's based down there. But we've pulled off quite a coup by getting him to Preston.
And that's going to be on the 17th, was it?
Yeah, a week today, 17th, commences at 8 at 53 degrees.
So it should be a brilliant night, and we've got 2 tickets for some lucky listeners, so we'll be following that up. And is this the main one that you put on, is the one here at 53 degrees, or do you do other soul nights across the region?
No, I just concentrate on 53 degrees. Preston's Got Soul.
When did it begin?
2 years ago.
Wow, so it's been going 2 years now.
Yeah.
And constantly, I would imagine then the numbers coming along are increasing all the time.
They are increasing, yeah. Yeah, we've got a good solid core of 400 people who come, and then depending on who you put on, that increases. But we've had Dean Parrish on twice, at the all-nighters I mentioned before. We've had Tommy Hunt, Martha Reeves and the Vandellas. So we're going to have Judy Street. We're hoping to get the Contours at the back end of this year.
Well, yeah.
So yeah, we're going to just get bigger and better, I think, as the time goes on.
Judy Street is a brilliant singer, just absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, she's a music teacher and piano teacher in Nashville.
Is that right?
She sings in a bar called Rippy's on a street corner in Nashville at the moment. So she's absolutely delighted to be coming over and singing in front of a big audience again.
So any plans to go over and see her in Nashville then?
I think I should go, don't you?
Yeah, I think you should go.
Yeah.
Have you been over there to see the soul scene over there?
I've not. One of our chaps has. Luke Gale went over as part of his sort of world sabbatical tour last year. He met Dean Parrish in New York, and he met Judy Street in Nashville.
Wow.
He went to the Stax Museum. I don't think he got to Detroit, but he certainly did copped a few names anyway there.
Wow. I mean, the memories around it is because, as I say, I used to go to Wigan Casino, but then before the pirate ships, I mean, the BBC very seldom played any soul music, so I used to get my fix from AFN, American Forces Network, and they used to have a brilliant soul show on a Saturday night and a jazz show on a Sunday, and the soul show was absolutely brilliant. It used to come live from New York, and it used to, wow.
Yeah.
But then when you talk about artists like that, you think, wow, I'd love to go over there and see her.
Yeah.
So we hopefully can see her here in Preston.
Yeah, she's coming in May. I think it's May the 17th, I think. It's a Friday. And yeah, she's really looking forward to it.
Great. Well, Andrew, can I thank you for coming in and telling us about Preston's Got Soul at 53 degrees.
Thank you very much for inviting me. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks, Andrew.
Thanks for listening. If you've enjoyed today's interview, why not tweet Hughie at ChatCityPFM.